Hello again, it's Noob, and we actually have a review of the, looking at the case they came in, the Just Picks Euro Slenders set in 18 thousandths of an inch from Peterson. So, yeah, I bought this as a bit of a pre-Christmas treat to myself. I just couldn't resist it. I've always actually wanted this Euro Slenders set from Peterson's. I just never really got around to buy one. And you might think, oh, did I buy it direct from Peterson? No, I'm based in the UK, and I actually bought this from a shop in Australia, Pick Pals, because quite often if you shop more locally to yourself from resellers of Peterson, you can when you include like postage. Over here in Europe, especially, we tend to get things cheap. So whether you buy it from Pick Pals or Lockpick Webwinkle or Vent or UK Bumpkeys or whoever resells Peterson picks, it's sometimes a bit of a tip there to just go hunting around for the best price. Might as well get the price out of the way now. So you get, was it 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 picks for about £58-59, depending on the price at the time, and that doesn't include postage. But you know, you can see it's around give or take £6 per pick, which isn't incredibly cheap. But you might think then why buy them? It's because Peterson just do really great steel. I've always thought that. My favourite pick is this one here. This is the Peterson Gem. I use it all the time. I've got plenty of backups in case they break, and like all lock picks, they do eventually break, but they tend to be extremely durable. I have a friend who's actually my friend Yukov. He has a gem so well used and so old that the gem is almost rounded like a pick profile. He's just been using it for so long. So yeah, they're very durable picks, and the 18 thousandth is just a perfect thickness for me. I never really got on with the Peterson picks in 25 thousandths. They're perfectly good, very strong, but something about the dimensions of them just don't work very well in a lot of the European locks I pick. So yeah, to get these ones in 18 thousandths for me is just, it hits that sweet spot. And yeah, I mean, I'm just really happy to finally get this set. So what do I get in this set? Let's have a look at what sort of hooks and things we get. Look at this one, and sort of the gem. So these are sort of the general hook type profiles. The short hook is taken up by the number 1 here, the Peterson number 1 hook. A flat top hook, again, it's not my favourite, but I know so many pickers who the Peterson number 1 hook is their absolute favourite. So your mileage may vary. Then you've got the number 7, which is sort of shallow to medium hook, and you know, the one which I mentioned earlier, which is the gem, which is just, it is a medium hook in a way, but that profile, I can really feel as the pin rises up to that peak. I can really feel when I'm on a pin which is set. Or it's binding. It's just a great pick for feedback, this one. Then we have a reach pick here. As of all of the picks in here, it's the one which I just, you know, I don't use. I don't understand it. Some people say that it's more intuitive for new pickers to be able to sort of use a curved pick like this, but I never learnt with one of these, therefore it's not intuitive to me. Again, your mileage may vary. Some people say that they're good for turning the pins on, say, a few high security locks where you've got to get the orientation right, like medicos and things. But again, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just not a profile that I really use. What else do we have here? A really good. So we've got some. I'll go on to the triple peaks in a minute. We've got some. These are really good, very solid profiles of the classic city rake and the snake rake here. Just really nice. And I have to say, if we're just going to look at the peaks and troughs of these, the overall finish of these, and they do vary with Peterson, let's be perfectly honest. The finish on these is, yeah, it's really good. I wouldn't feel the need to put any sandpaper over this. If I was, I'd put some 800 and then some 1000 grit over it if I really must, but no, they're fine. Straight out of the pack, they're well tumbled, they're well finished. Then we've got a very slim half diamond. One of my friend's favourite profiles, this particular Peterson half diamond, just because it's so thin shanked. Very good at picking and scrubbing and raking smaller keyways. And finally, and I wanted to sort of leave these a little bit till last, is you get 3 triple peaks, but they're not all the same. So let me try and find the one which, yeah. So this is what I would consider a very typical sort of triple peak profile, sort of nice rounded but pointy peaks. Very nice. But then if you look at these two, and they are different, one is slightly more shallow. You line them up, you can see one's slightly more shallow by 0.3 of a millimetre maybe. But you can see that they're a lot more rounded peaks, this one in particular. So this is not quite a worm style rake, but it's getting close to it. It's a lot more shallow, so that'd be nice for scrubbing keyways which are a little more shallow. And then you've got something that's sort of in between the two. It's not quite as high as this like classic triple peak profile, but it's not as low and rounded as this other one. So you get a couple of nice triple peak profiles there, which I really appreciate that. I'll conclude later on and I'll go through the pros and cons of a set like this, but overall it's a nice mix of rakes and picks in this gauge, if you like, this in 18 thousandths of an inch. It's a nice thickness for me. I like it anyway. As ever with my reviews, I like to do a little bit of picking with these picks. Always get comments on the rare occasion I don't do demonstrations of picking with things I review. So for what it's worth, let's pick a handful of fun locks, and we'll come back with conclusions later. First up, let's pick this giant and really tactile, aesthetically pleasing Vero monolith, a 7-pin lock. Very cool. And the keyway starts all the way down about that far down, so about 1/3 of an inch in. It's really deep, so I've got these super long tension tool, and that means that it's a really interesting pick to get all 7 pins picked, just because it's such a deep keyway. It's a very odd but satisfying pick. Lots of spool pins in it, just going through, hitting anything which feels like it is in need of a pick. We're in a bit of a false set now, so I'm literally going through and testing all the pins that I think might need to be picked for see whether they're fully set or not. I think we're on pin 7 at the back here. Pin 2 at the front, there you go, that's pin 1. Feel pin binding there, and we're open. There we go. I thought I'd give this reach pick a go. One of the reasons I like 18 thousandth picks is when you get an American lock keyway or a keyway similar, it can just slide between the warding so smoothly without catching. It's just really nice. So yeah, let's see how this reach pick fares inside this lock. Going back through, anything that is binding I can just poke up the tip. 5 there, 4 there, 3 there, 2 there, 1. Felt quite nice. Back to the back again. That was 5, 4. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Pin 1 here, I think. Yep. Back to 5, and we're open. There we go. We'll do a quick zip of the little master lock here, just because we can, the poor thing. There we go, using this half diamond. even though I'm not a massive fan of flat top hooks, I'll give the Peterson #1 a go just because it's so popular and so loved by some pickers. I don't want to ignore it, so just going to go through this little spoolie Abus, which is a really fun little pick, I have to say. And we're open already. Wow. This is such a nice snake rake profile. I don't know, I couldn't resist raking a lock, albeit an easy to rake lock, with it. I just really wanted to. So, I mean, just goes to show, really, doesn't it? And finally, I thought I'd go for this medium triple peak with the slightly softer, rounder peaks to it in this little laminated padlock, and just going to put some tension on, give it a bit of a scrub, and we're already open. There we go. So clearly they're very capable picks. So what do I think to this Just Picks Euro Slenders set in 18 thousandths? Well, pros, lots of pros actually. Pros, one, and I'll just take the gem out for an example. One, the thinness in this dimension, the 18 thousandths thinness, I find is really nice balance of slimline and strength. It's a nice balance, especially when you're picking a lot of European locks with tight keyways. Really works well for me. I've used these a lot. I know how durable the steel is, and the handles, albeit they could be maybe a centimetre longer for me, they're light, they're comfortable, they're grippy. And I really do love the Peterson handle. So the steel's great, thickness is great, the handles are great. The other thing I like is the profiles are just nice. They're really, like, you know, if it's a snake rake, you can see it's got two nice distinct bumps on there. The gems, a really nice angle on it. You know, everything's just really nice. The finish on these actually as well is really good. I've seen some less good ones from Peterson, but these are really good. So the overall finish, design, strength and comfort of these picks is excellent. So what about cons? Well, they are a slightly more expensive pick, but I think you pay for that quality, so maybe that's not a con. But I'll just leave you to have a look at these picks for 2 seconds and just see if you can spot anything that you might think is a bit of a con. Well, I don't know how much of a bigger deal it is, but you can see that you can split, first of all, the picks in two like this. You see that these have the Peterson logo here. Actually, I need to flip that around. And these ones over here have the Peterson logo in the middle. Is it just the stamping on the handle? Would that make a difference? Not to me. But there is actually a bit of a difference with these ones. Also, if you notice, this one is not quite like the others, is it? Again, does it bother me? Not so much, but it might bother you. And it does beg the question, how and why is it pink instead of purple? I mean, it's the same comfort and stiffness and all those kind of things, but it's clearly, colour-wise, just not right. It's odd and surprising. Again, does it affect the pick? Not so much. Would you say, send it back and get a new one? I don't know. I guess it's up to you. But yeah, there is a bigger difference other than the odd colour of this one between these two sides. Now, mostly these are the sort of picks apart from the snake rake, and mostly these are rakes apart from this hook. But if we look at these ones with the logo in the middle, you can see that there is an etch of the part number here, and that's the same on all of them. Let's just grab another one to show you. And I don't know whether you can tell, but it's quite deep. Now, I know that in the past people have reported breakages with deeply etched or stamped, I assume it's etched, picks. So, you know, what they're saying is there's an inherent weakness with these deep etches, and that can lead to breakages. Now, I don't know whether it's by accident or design, but because rakes are pulled in and out instead of like leveraged up, I don't think that this is going to cause too much of a problem on the rakes, but it might do, maybe, I don't know, only time will tell, on the pick here, which has that very deep etch in. Again, does it bother me? A little bit. but only if it actually does impact the pick. So if I find that this snaps a lot sooner than my experience with other picks, then I would think that's bad. But I've not had a Peterson snap at that position personally, but it is just worth remembering that other people have had that experience. If you have, put a comment below. These ones though, and these are hooks mostly apart from this, are different. So different stamping on the handle, and look, the etch is very, very shallow, to on some of them almost impossible to try and read. You can just about make it out there, and I think that might have been done to address the issues that were being had with the deeply etched picks. So this set, it's a bit of an odd combination of two different styles of handles, or batches, I guess you could say. Again, is that con? I don't know. It's hard for me to say without using them and seeing whether they last and are durable. But it is definitely worth saying, to be pointed out to you, nonetheless, I think. So yeah, in summary then, I'd say the pros are really strong for this kit. The cons are a little bit of concerns about the general quality control and longevity of the picks, but I think that is offset slightly by the fact that the deeper etching is mostly on the rakes, where you're pulling in and out rather than putting force on the shank by lifting. But yeah, overall, I'm pretty happy with the set. I just wish that this one was purple, not pink. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know your experience of Peterson picks. Do you love them? Do you hate them? What do you think to the different handles? What do you think to the deep etch versus the shallow etch? I'm really interested to know your thoughts. So are other people reading your comments. I do read them all myself, and I reply to as many as I can. If you haven't subscribed to this video, please subscribe. And if you like this video, please leave a like. All really helps me out. And of course, I'll see you all next time.